All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where rumors are swirling around Errol Spence Jr. and the Keith Thurman fight that has not been announced yet, and speculation that Errol Spence Jr. is going behind the back of Al Haymon to get out of that fight and make another one with Terrence Crawford, which should be for June. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division talking about some things that are going around amongst my fellow boxing fans that I think are a little bit of nonsense. Not just a little bit of nonsense, but a whole bunch of nonsense. But getting questions about it, getting comments in my comment section about it. So it's happened enough where, okay, I'm going to discuss it, let you guys know what's going to happen, let you know what people are saying, rather, and what has been said, and give you my my impression of it in this video. But before I do, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for continuing to support the effort that we put forward out here. We couldn't do it without you. So thank you very much for your support in the Cash Apps and the super thanks of videos like this especially. So let's get into it. Oh, and also, by the way, if I sound a little wheezy in this video, I've got allergies. So that's what it is. So if you hear me take a little kind of raspy breath in between my words, please forgive me. It is what it is. And I'm not about to go edit all that stuff out of a video because, like I said, man, it is just what it is. Sometimes I get allergies and I can't avoid it. But here we go. So Errol Spence Jr. is the 3-belt holder in the welterweight division. He owns the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF belt. He, according to the WBC, has a fight coming up against a former unified champion in the division, Keith one-time Thurman. Now, this will be a fight that will satisfy Errol Spence Jr.'s WBC mandatory requirement, and is taking place because Errol Spence was not able to secure a fight with Terrence Crawford. Now, the Showtime Sports has announced a really big fight. I'm sure you guys know about it. If you don't know about it, you have to be living underneath a rock. And that is the Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight, which is one of the biggest fights in boxing, if not the biggest fight in boxing. Gervonta Davis himself says if he wins this, he will pass up Canelo as the face of boxing. And with the relative who cares about what he's doing type of fights that Canelo Alvarez has been taking, that very well may be the case. When you think about big fights and exciting fights, if Gervonta Davis can get past Ryan Garcia in this big event, it very well may be. There's an argument to be made for that. Now, at the same time, though, they have not announced the Errol Spence Jr. Keith Thurman fight. So the speculation is this: that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are behind the scenes having negotiations that do not involve Al Haymon, that they have cut out the middleman with Al Haymon, and they're going to make the fight themselves. So Errol Spence Jr. is really doing to Keith Thurman what Terrence Crawford did to him when Terrence Crawford last year was negotiating for both the David Avenetian fight and a fight with Errol Spence Jr. at the same time, right? So that is the rumors that are going on, the speculation that is going on. Let me tell you what I think about that. And like I tell people all the time, this is a boxing channel. I'm a boxing fan. I pay attention to the news. I've been watching boxing for pretty much my entire life. Have a business background myself. But specifically, as all these people are involved with one another, I've watched these guys make fights, things, how Showtime announces fights. And this is what I take from that. A conversation going on behind with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. on the phone. They very well may say, okay, well, we'll agree that we will have a certain purse if we can fight, because that's what Mike Coppinger reported. That does not mean, however, that Errol Spence Jr. has cut Al Haymon out of the conversation. That is just a leap that there's no reason to take. Why is that? Because Errol Spence Jr. is going to have that put on paper. And Errol Spence Jr. is not drafting his own bout agreements. He's not drafting his own term sheets. He's not drafting his own deals. So he's going to bring a part of his team in there to do the work and say, hey, man, I had a conversation with Errol. This is with Terrence. This is what I think is fair. Al Haymon can say, okay, yeah, well, if you think that's fair, okay, well, this is the ramifications of it. Cool, let's get it done. Fine, and move on. It's not, you do not have to have Al Haymon on the phone with Errol and Terrence to discuss one particular term that they've already talked before, especially something as flexible as a percentage split of the pay-per-views that you get. The other side of this, why wouldn't they be announcing the Errol Spence Jr. Keith Thurman fight? Well, they just announced this really big fight between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. They just had a big press tour. They are putting all of that stuff together. And these are the same people that would be working and finalizing the press conferences and the announcements for Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman are doing it with Gervonta Davis, and Ryan Garcia at the same time. They have a finite amount of bandwidth in the day, just like anybody else. You got 24 hours in a day. How much work do you think they can do at the same time? Those guys, Errol and Keith Thurman, are not talking in the media at all. That fight may very well be done. They're just not talking about it. And once they get past what happened yesterday, which is the press conferences, and the two guys get back into training camp and are doing their thing, hey, man, Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman very well may be announced after that. Steven Espinoza said that they have 4 more cards that they're going to announce, and they're right near getting finalized. I have a very, very hard time believing that they're not going to be able to get that fight done, especially since Terrence Crawford just got a mandatory put on him for Alexis Rocha by the WBO. But anyway, just wanted to give that to you. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you so much for your input on the channel. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.